Hi guys, this is Paul from Unsung Angler. This is the first video in a series titled Utility Flies. Utility flies are flies that are easy to tie, have relatively few materials. I always joke and say 4 materials or less and I'm in. And they catch fish. Most of these are variations from traditional patterns that we all know and currently have in our boxes, whether we tied them or bought them at shops. But with my twist on them to make them a little easier to tie, sometimes fish a little better, be more durable. So stick around, check this video out, and maybe you'll learn something new. So the first fly that we're going to tie in our Utility Flies series is the pheasant tail nymph. It's a great pattern to have, they're easy to tie, and they just fish really well. I typically have them in size 12 all the way down to size 20 in my fly box. The one change that I do like to incorporate in this fly that makes it a little easier to tie and a little more durable, rather than use Peacock herl, which the original pattern calls for the Thorax, I'll substitute Hairline's Ice Dub Peacock dubbing. So let's get started. Put a base of brown thread on my hook. Wrap to the bend. Now I will tie in copper wire. Back to the bend of the hook. Now from a pheasant tail, for a size 12, I'll use probably 8 fibers from the pheasant tail. So for a nymph, I like to put mine about half of the shank length for the tail. So I'll measure that up and tie those in. Couple wraps to secure. And then what I like to do is fold over what I just tied in and advance my thread forward, about 2/3 the way up the shank. Now I'll take this, I don't even know what this tool is called, I bought it at Radio Shack a long time ago. I bought this similar one at a fly shop. It's a little bigger. It works, but I find the little like 99-cent one I got at Radio Shack just seems to work better for pheasant tail nymphs. So grab your fibers. I like to give them a twist and then wrap up the hook, twisting as I go. It gives it a nice segmented body look till I get where I'm going to tie off. I'll tie that off and trim the extra. A trick that I like to do, get your thread to go over your finger, that way when you cut there's no risk of cutting your thread. So I don't have much material left. What I normally like to do is use this tag piece. On smaller nymphs you can get away with it, but a 12 is kind of tough, and use what I have left here for my wing case. That's not going to be the case right now. So scraggler in there, get rid of that. So next step is to wrap forward your copper wire. This will add with the segmented body look and add durability in your bug. Tie that off. Get your old scissors that you don't really care about and then trim that off. Okay, so now I'm going to have to take a handful more fibers, which is fine, from the pheasant tail for the wing case. So when I do need to do this, I don't want to use these real thin ones down the end, so I'll just take and trim those off to even them up, and then get them on the hook. Now I will add my ice dub. I'll start it on a little tighter, but then what I like to do is go a little loose and then finish on the other end and tighten it up tight. So this will give me a fairly large and buggy looking thorax on here. Pull that up. There we go. Now I will fold my wing case over and tie that off. A couple wraps. Cut the excess and add a head. So now I've seen a lot of guys, but with especially a larger fly like this, they'll put some legs off the side. I skip that. I like to get the bug tied, get it in my box, and get ready to fish it. I've tied them that way. I've never seen it make much of a difference. So another thing I like to do, rather than head cement, I'll put one whip finish and 2 whip finishes and call it good. So at this point, we can pick a little of our dubbing out. I don't do too crazy with this fly like I do others, but that looks, trim up any extra, and that's it. Size 12 pheasant tail nymph with hairline ice dub peacock for the thorax. Give it a try. Well, I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're not already subscribed, please click the subscribe button. We're going to have plenty more utility fly videos that come up here in the future. So stick around, and thanks again for watching.